What's up, everyone? We're here just to kind of get everything on a video because, one, it's easier. Two, most of you don't want to read anyway. Three, half of you probably aren't even going to listen to this anyway because, but we figured this would be the easiest medium to be able to put out this information and kind of reestablish everything because we know there's a lot of changes that we need to make to keep going forward as always. So here we are. This is the start of a new year, start of a new everything. Let's reorganize everything, I guess. And the big reason for all that is because both Bryce and I, we've learned a lot over the years from working together and also our own endeavors. For those who don't know, he's been working on the Pokken scene quite a lot and has actually made quite a lot of headway in that, being one of the top streamers for the tournaments that can happen for
also considered to be one of the more well-recognized and liked TOs, so.
Yeah. I'm Tim.
I'm Bryce.
I'm not necessarily well-liked, but I get my shit done, so deal with it.
Yep.
So part of this is directly we want to figure out how to restructure, to reach out to competitors, both old, new, etc. Because the biggest problem that we've ran into is we have all these people, and while we know most of you, there's some of you that we don't know, and some of you that personally, like, I'm like, oh, hey, it's good to see you again, even though it's been a year and I didn't even realize it's been a year. So we want to be able to, on an organizational standpoint, reestablish how that is. And the best way to do that is just to start anew. The way that we're starting anew is with our Cafe Naos Smash Jam Monthly. We want people to feel welcome, to be able to get introduced easily. So the biggest thing that we're going to be pushing on that is any new competitor will be $5 for the venue instead of $10. With it being a new system, that means everyone who comes their first time this year, per se, will be $5. That is a major adjustment for us personally.
Yeah.
It's also going to be a major adjustment for Cafe Naos, but they want to work with us on it as well because we've been great patrons to them so far. They've loved having you all and us there. We want to see it going forward.
Yeah. Now, just for clarification, that is this first monthly still $10 for the people who've been around continuously, but if it's more new faces, we'll drop it down to $5.
No, let's just do it for everyone.
$5 for everyone?
$5 for everyone.
Okay.
$5 for everyone.
You heard it here. I will update the event page for that.
Yeah. So that'll be the biggest thing. We want to figure out other incentives for that later, but this is our first initial step in that direction. We hope it goes well. I'm sure it will go well. Let's face it, you're all saving $5. Most of you are going to lose that in a money match anyway. Haha.
Tip: don't go money matching best nest if you want to keep that $5
in any event.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So that's kind of what we want to be able to do. That down the road, we want to also provide better options for those who are around for a long time, those who only show up once in a while, those who continuously help out, etc., etc. We do appreciate all the work that you all do for us when we need it. So, I don't know, anything further you want to add on that?
Not a whole lot right now. Really, like, you can ask them to people. Like, Plushy Panic's a good person to look at for this. Every time, like, he's brought his computer, he's helped out. I've tried to compensate him every time. He's every time kind of like, okay, sure, I didn't want this, but okay. But that compensation is important.
I am a huge believer on if you're willing to put in time and effort and whatnot, your own resources, you should absolutely be compensated some way. Whether that's just a venue wave, whether that's I get you lunch, I don't know. Some way I feel like that should be recognized, and part of the structure is supposed to help recognize that in the future depending on effectively what you're doing to help out.
Yep.
Which kind of brings us into the next thing, is that these tournaments, Bryce handles the stream, I'm handling the organizational structure of running and whatnot. We'll go back and forth because that's how we work.
Right.
But the biggest part is it is a community-driven event. Any tournament is community-driven. We cannot hold an event without you guys pushing that event to others, without you guys trying to bring others in, without you guys being the... I know this is a hard one, don't worry, but being sociable.
Oh, another thing, being on time.
On time is actually a big one.
And that applies to everyone. We'll get into that a little
Us
later.
too.
But community-driven events, it looks bad for the community when the community members don't show up till 30 minutes after the time was supposed to start.
And I know sometimes you guys have like a job constraint or you had traffic issues. Like I said, we'll get more into this. But we put the times out. The times have been standard for a while now. You guys know what to expect on that. So we'll get more into that in a minute.
Yep.
What I wanted to be able to drive forward on this is, while we can run tournaments, outside of the tournament, that comes much more to all of you. I know some of you are holding fests. Some of you are like, hey, I'm going to be here. Some of you are like, hey, I will watch your videos and try to give you advice. These are great things, and I want to see them keep going forward. Power rankings, that's actually another thing that should be community driven. I know people who are good. I am absolutely trash at making power ranking by all degrees. People have asked, hey, what's your input? I've been like, I'm just going to walk over there now.
Yeah. See, the sad thing is I look at power rankings, and for our local Pokken, and even our recent rivals ones, pretty much after I sit down, we talk through it a little bit, almost everyone's always like, yeah, yours seems about right. Now, Smash, I'm hardly involved anymore. I'm there in Lehigh. I'm at the Smash Jam, but I'm not there like the Wednesday ones. So I don't get to see everyone. I don't get to see where they're constantly performing. I see them maybe once a month, especially some of the top players. So it's hard for me to compare by anything except hard numbers. So
that's all we have is like the hard data that we can go off of, which is all we should be going off of. The opinions we rely on you guys for. I mean, when I'm running at the monthly, I'll pull in some other people and be like, hey, help me seed this. Let me figure out some things, but I need the input from those who are more directly involved. That's how it should always be.
Mm-hmm.
Because we want to be able to run things properly and efficiently.
Yeah.
Especially if we're looking to grow and become something much more than we already are. You all remember when we had 70 people at a tournament. That was amazing. What?
I hope they remember.
Unless you've had a sudden stroke of amnesia or this new, you remember.
Or a couple of... there's been a number of people who haven't been... who showed up well after that period.
But we can get to that point again. I know
yeah.
we can. I mean, hell, it's not even that hard to honestly pull 100 people. Like, if we had to effectively book Cafe Naos as a whole for the day, because we're getting 150 people, they have mentioned they're willing to work with us on that. I don't know what will happen on that front. We'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah.
But Bryce, he has the videos that he has to upload, or I mean the whole process for video uploading. What is that?
So after I stream the video, because I haven't been sitting down at the computer for months doing this, what I end up having to do is I come home, I sit down at my computer here at home, I spend for a weekly half hour to an hour just sitting there going through the video, going, where's the start of the video, where's the end of the video, who's playing, what characters are they playing, writing all this out, marking down the start and end into a program I have, then I hit cuts the video. Once I'm done with that weekly, just doing that, minimum hour probably to get through pretty much all this. I have to upload it to started uploading to YouTube. I run it through a script in Photoshop to make the thumbnails. Uploading can take up anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the day, really. So for just a single weekly, monthlies are even worse. I'm probably sitting down for 2+ hours cutting videos, plus who knows how long for YouTube to upload it.
Honestly, something like that, he does a lot for already, and if any of you are willing to help out with that, please do
Yeah.
so. Again,
I mean, yeah, I know I'm behind. I'm backlogged to September. I know I am. I am sorry on that. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be getting around to the actual uploads until probably near the end of the month. I have to watch our data cap here. We do have the stupid data caps. I went over it last month somehow. So it is something I have to watch out for, unfortunately. So I can't do mass uploads too often.
right. And there's other ways I'm sure that can be circumvented, but I mean, if any of you are willing to help out with that, whether it's just he gets everything cut ready to upload and then you guys upload it, or whether some of you are willing to do the cutting, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can talk to him about that. That's his territory. I don't mess with the stream for due
Yeah.
reason. I have my other concerns that I'm trying to be able to take care of. But ultimately, this is, in effect, a second job for us. It cuts a lot into our other time to be able to effectively, in a way, enjoy life, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I look at it Thursday nights. I give up an entire night of doing other things to go down to Lehigh to stream for my stuff to stream just their Melee. And I know people are starting to try to revitalize Smash 4 down there, but I spend most of my night there barely doing anything because I don't have stuff to do, or I take stuff down there, but I can't really start anything because I constantly get interrupted or whatever, so it's hard to even do stuff over time there.
So, we're willing to help you as long as you're willing to help us. That's kind of what it comes down to. We know there's always outstanding circumstances, like in fact gets in the way of everyone. We're not expecting you all to be like, all right, yeah, let's help out with everything. No. Even if it's just one or two people, it's like, hey, I've got a little extra time for this week. We'll take it. You can ask us. We'll be more than willing to look into what we can do to be able to be helped ourselves, and we'll help you. With that being said, the reason why we're also restructuring is we're looking bigger, grander. We're wanting to restart regional type events again. These events would be every quarter or every 4 months, 3 events a year, 4 events a year, whatever it may be. That's how I started off with it. Honestly, it was some of my more favorite time before I started getting into a bunch of weeklies and whatnot. I had overwhelmed myself by even just the very minimum of 2 weeklies and the monthly and other events people wanted me to help out with. That was when I was just focusing this full time myself. Like, this was my job, which, to be frank, a lot of you didn't seem to like that, so I finally got another job, started focusing on other things in my life just so I could mellow out, get back into my own head, and be able to refocus on this when the time came again.
I mean, Bree helped a lot with that mellowing out.
Well, yes. Thank you, Bree. She gives me a heart. There we go. That looked weird on the camera, but it was it was half a heart. See, there's the other half. She had the other half. She has my whole heart, but that's okay. There's your gushy moment today. But we do. Gay.
Thanks, Raz.
So, we want to get regionals going. The reason for that is, one, honestly, Utah is a very prime location to be able to hold regionals. We are 10-hour drive from SoCal. We are about 14 hours from NorCal. So, I mean, there's 2 major reasons.
You have those mixed up. It's about 10 hours to NorCal and 14 to SoCal.
No, it's like a 10, not more than 12
It's 10 to
hours.
11 to San Jose, San Fran, and they're NorCal. I just made the drive in November.
Okay, well, maybe it's 10 hours to both, depending on the route you take.
And where you will go.
Yeah.
It's California. It's
either
huge.
way, it's a day's drive.
Yeah.
There, I win. It's a day's drive. It's half a day's drive from Las Vegas. It's between half a day and a day from Colorado, depending on 1, whether 2, how high you are, and 3, how well you drive.
If they're driving while high, don't be, please.
Yeah, please be safe. We're in Utah. We're in Utah. The cops just take a sniff in the air, and I think somebody has possession of weed from 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're in a prime location for it. We have a lot of actually strong communities here in Utah alone. Just looking at Smash, we back from Brawl, we had top players, both
Death Arcana.
Death
and
Arcana
X.
and X. X was our top Sonic player. Death Arcana was a top Link player. Mars was a very solid player. We had also Yaz and Kenny.
Yeah.
We had so many good Brawl players. Melee, we've Sizz is kind of a claim to fame, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
He came from Utah, courtesies of Perfect Chaos, who brought him into the scene. We don't have much else in Melee. You could try to lay claim to Cawmaster, and as wonderful as he is, and as much as I love him, he's not originally Utah. Deal with it. Here in Smash 4, we have Best Ness, who has made waves, Diablo, Pixel, Valor, like all of you who have made great waves in this new game. And it's only going to keep going forward. I know we're all still looking forward to a Switch port or something like that. We don't know. Either way, we're going to keep things going on this front. But then outside of that, we also have, for example, in the Street Fighter V community, we have 801 Strider.
He made Capcom Cup this year, guys. That's the top 32 considered best in the world. So
in terms of players, we have great people. In terms of just community in general, honestly, I know our internet presence is absolute trash.
Yeah.
Let's admit that straight up, guys. Come on.
I can't use Twitter for the life of me. I keep trying and I keep failing.
I can, I just don't want to, but I'm going to have to. I'll figure those things out. I'll figure...
You use it more.
I do. My personal one.
Fuck you, Raz.
Anyway, so we'll work on our internet presence, but at the same time as community, your guys' internet presence and how you deal with others also needs to be up to par. Now, I'm not going to say you have to be perfect little angels, because heaven forbid that ever happening. Let's face it, you guys have me. There's nothing angelic around here.
Hey, Bree, he said you're not angelic at all. Wow, she took that nice.
I'm not touching that one.
You said there's nothing angelic around here.
I'm moving on. Either way, so the more that we put out things, the more that we will have to rely on you guys to be able to say, hey, we have this going strong. Come check us out. Trash talking is a great thing. It, honestly, though, is a very strong double-edged sword, for example. The shit posting.
Sir Salty.
Yeah, Sir Salty, you're bad about that. I'm calling you out right now. We both are.
Anyways.
We're willing to help out where we can on that front, but you guys will have to still be the ones who come back and say, or be the cementing portion of that. You're the ultimate foundation. We can just kind of throw it out there. You guys are the one who make do with what's out there. So we do want to get regionals going. We're somewhat looking into that as we're getting into the new year, and we have other expenses that we have to take care of ourselves. Yeah. Last few things that we're just going to mention here. We're working on a new layout for the stream because, again, new year. We also want to be able to establish certain things elsewise for those. We're looking into getting sponsorships. The more sponsors that we can have, the more pop bonuses we could have, or the more recognition, etc., etc., etc. As well as, just looking into additional pot ads ourselves. We know that money speaks, let's face it. Mm-hmm. But I am of the opinion that I shouldn't be always throwing my own money into it just to make something happen. I know some of you are okay with that, some of you are hesitant, some of you don't even want to pay more than just $5. That's fine. You guys can make whatever you want to happen, I guess you could say. What our goal is to be able to organize it in a front that is welcoming and inviting and professional to all. We do put a lot of time into it. Bryce and I both usually will be at Cafe Naos no later than 9:30 to be able to start setting up, get things ready. In case you need a reference point, remember, first event starts at 1. We don't have to set up as much right now. In case none of you are aware, I am running solo myself again. Gamers Abbey is 100% mine and nothing affiliated with anybody at this moment. Nor do I want to officially affiliate that with anyone else again. Because that is something that is precious to me for various reasons. On my front, I can make something greater happen on that organizational standpoint, and that is all Gamers Abbey will be, is an organizational, or as an event organization and management. So when like Salt Lake Gaming Con comes, I'll be there to help out, but I am still my own entity type thing.
With that, the Streamwise Salty Gaming Show is definitely my personal thing. Named it that when I initially did it because, one, you've seen me. I get salty as all hell. So does Tim. We do it just because, you know, for that reason was part of it. 2, we're in Salt Lake. Come on. But with all that, though, I am also planning on doing a couple things with the YouTube channel and whatnot. I'm going to actually create a secondary YouTube channel called either Salty Gaming Tournament, Salty Gaming Show Tournament, something along the lines of that. I'll be getting that figured out fully here pretty soon. From this point forward, including all the past videos, I'm going to be putting them onto there. Simply because that way I can separate the tournaments from my personal stuff. It's actually it feels hard to upload my personal stuff anymore because they get buried by me uploading tournaments. Because I upload 10, 15 videos in a single tournament, and then my one video from earlier that week just gets buried below those, and I don't get those out at all.
Right.
So,
final thing, as we were touching base on, big part we know that needs to happen is being on time. That is on all fronts. That requires us to have everything ready, absolutely, and probably basically be ready an hour in advance before any events.
Setting up stream takes a lot of time, guys.
It does. Usually when we get there and he's brought the stuff in, I tell him, no, go set up your stream.
And then I do it, and then after spending an hour trying to get everything set up, I'm about 2/3 done, and I just sit down and either take a drink, get some food or something for a little bit, and then try to do it again.
Yep. So, but that also comes back to you guys. Again, I know sometimes job runs right out at that same time, or, you know, traffic was really bad, or you had a car issue, or I don't know any other excuses. Honestly, it still comes down to the fact that, yes, it is still technically an excuse. We know some of you who will absolutely be there, but I'm getting to the point also where if you tell me, hey, we're on our way, it better be within 15 minutes, because I can't just keep doing this, oh, hey, I'll put you in, and then an hour later you finally show up. And I've had this happen. I've literally had this happen. I've disqualified people. I've been disqualified myself because I was wrong on my timing. Bryce did that, thankfully. Nobody's immune from that. We need everyone to be on time. The only exceptions come down to if there is a major technical issue, such as, hey, Cafe Naos just lost power.
Or internet. I've had that happen before.
Internet, we can still kind of work with.
Yeah,
we'll just end up recording.
Don't stream. Yeah, but
Streaming is a luxury, let's face it.
But it's
you guys love it.
We've had a number of issues around that.
We know the things that happen, and we're able to kind of
Challenge
prepare
going down for no reason whatsoever.
screw you challenge. Long live Smash GG.
Uh,
Even then,
besides a
that
few
has
things.
its issues.
Yep. You
We're
really-
working with them on that too.
Yep.
We noticed some things that are like, oh, well, this would be nice.
Mhm.
But we're working on that. We're also working on, like, accepting cards on site. Sorry, when we do, there will be a surcharge for that.
It's a credit card. Expect it.
Yeah. For those who don't know, anytime you run a credit card, there is always a charge that the company pays for. Usually, when it's a smaller company, usually they'll have you cover that. But we try to make sure it's no more than like 50 cents, $1, depending on what it is.
I really need to find my Square Reader again.
Yeah, we need to find a lot of things again. I need to find my pride and dignity. Yeah, that's not happening.
That died quite a while ago, Tim.
Yeah. Anyway, I had about 4 thoughts go through my head, and so if you guys have any questions, please let us know. You can either post on wherever we post this video at. You can send us a message directly. You can give me a text or a call. Actually, no, give me a text. Don't call me. I don't need 5 million calls. I love you all, but welcome to us. We're actually, that'll give me one last thought here to post on. While we will be professional, at the same time, we're still going to be ourselves. I mean, let's face it. We know I can cuss like a sailor at any point at the drop of a dime. You've all heard it before. We've heard the stream say to nerf me from across the room. We know that I have that capability, and I have been working on that piece by piece. I have personally felt like I've made some improvements, but I still also know where my weaknesses are on that front.
And that's also partially why you don't see me playing tournaments really much anymore, especially at the monthly. I'm too busy for one. Two, I'll just get pissed at the monthly, no matter what I do.
I'll still play tournaments.
I know you will, but
I
I'll
keep it
just
limited.
I'll get pissed no matter what, and then just makes everything a problem.
Yeah, but I mean, like I've even told Bryce, like I've entered a tournament, haven't even really played my first match, and I've just told him just DQ me because I don't have the time.
Yep.
I've learned that method too. But ultimately, we will still be ourselves. We'll still be welcoming and inviting to everyone, and around people, certain people, then yes, I will be courteous where I can. But I'm also not going to put on this fake facade of, oh, I'm always smiley and happy and whatnot. I'm not always smiley and happy. There are times where I've literally just walked out of the venue to go on a brief 10-minute walk because I need to calm down. I know these moments. Bryce knows his moments. We know each other's moments. We've told each other, no, go. Get the hell out of here. Take care of yourself for a minute. I've got things handled.
Yeah, we've also just slapped each other, said, get over it, move on.
Yeah, we've done that. It's beautiful. We're not going to slap each other now. Don't worry.
The urge was there.
I know the urge was there. I felt it. From both fronts. Either way, we will be professional, but we will be fun. We will still have some, I guess you could say, adult mannerisms, but we're not going to be so overboard with it. And I know the moments where I'll have to be better about it. I try to keep the adult moments more directly one-on-one rather than it is on a general thing. That being said, if you do have issues, let us know. We literally cannot do anything unless you guys tell us the issues, unless you guys tell us, hey, I feel like something here should be happen. I think the person who tells us the most is Calculus, which is great, honestly, as sometimes frustrating as it can be. Sorry, Calculus, I know the times you're salty and just giving a suggestion. But they're always welcomed, even if they don't seem to be so in the moment. Because sometimes I just need them to sit on the side for a moment while I'm taking care of other things. And you've seen some of the suggestions implemented, and you've seen some of them explained why they're not going to happen. No, I am not going to pay money to be able to fly in people. for tournaments and whatnot. I'm sorry, it's a monthly, maybe for a regional, but that depends. Because usually that will come out of our own pockets, and while we do set aside some money from what we've earned, per se, from the tournaments, sometimes it's just a thing that can't be used. I actually spent about, what, $200 buying just power strips and extension cords over the past 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
just so that we have that covered. So all you guys have to bring are your systems and your monitors.
Right. Well, like, I had that money saved up for a little while that I was able to save up over the past year. All that disappeared when GTX happened.
We invested in a whole stream.
Yeah, I invested in pretty much an entire second stream setup. I need a new computer and a couple different headsets because the headsets I have I don't like too much.
Per their discussion already with this.
Yeah.
And then what was it, a week before?
Well, no, this was the day before GTX. I got told, sorry, we don't have the room for you to stream now.
And we honestly know these moments happen. We're used to these moments happening and being a problem and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we don't like them. We make note of those situations that happen with those companies, and we move on forward from it, and then we make future decisions based on that if we want to.
Yeah.
Depending on what we need to do.
Yeah.
When it comes
And,
directly to the community, though, we do what we can.
Yeah. But you've seen the results of me having bought that stuff at the tournaments. We now have a second recording setup, which I failed to get the videos from Plushie this past weekend. I need to make sure I do that. But we've got a full second recording setup. I've got now headsets that are sitting there, just a couple right now, but they're really nice headsets that sit there for the players to put on to be able to listen to the game rather than all the noise. This money has turned back around to these tournaments in various ways. You just maybe didn't realize it.
Yeah.
So.
And I've even tossed Bryce an extra $50, sometimes $100 when needed for, hey, I'm close to this. And I'm like, just get it and we can figure that out later. We do try to manage the money properly, but at the same time, this is still also a hobby.
Yeah.
I'm never going into this full-time again. I'm sorry.
And like,
I tried that once for just almost 3 years. And I'm happy with where I am at personally on my job. I'm happy with where I am at personally in my life in general. And while I enjoy doing things still for any competitive community, really, we've seen Project M start having a rise. Rivals of Aether came out of nowhere and is rising.
that only happened because Braz finally got off his butt and made a Discord.
Yeah, Raz actually did something for once in his life.
I know, right? Is he still Zen right there?
No.
Damn.
He'll watch it later and be like, oh, hell. But we'll do what we can on our front. We know you guys would want to do what you can on your front. We're willing to guide. Honestly, I feel like one of my pros is being able to delegate when I absolutely have to. My cons is I'm also still very much, I will just do it myself because that's how I am.
Yeah.
It did not happen overnight for Bryce and I to work together.
That kind of did.
I provided equipment and ran the tournament. And I was teaching you at the side. I still remember the first tournament you ran.
Yeah, I know. I fucked that up hard.
Oh, it was hilarious. And I just
Random
looked
seed.
at it and just like...
Random seed. I remember that. Devon still gives me shit for it.
We all give you shit for
Oh,
it
I
because
know.
we've all been there.
It was the first tournament.
Yep.
Second tournament ran a lot better. You and PC kept giving me shit for that because I didn't have times figured out yet.
Yeah, no, you're just like, we'll just run it. And I'm just like, yeah, that's a disaster.
It worked. It actually didn't go too badly, and I actually utilized that one to completely figure out the estimate times necessary to run these tournaments. And
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
Yep.
But we've also learned how to use our resources available to us to be able to make things better.
Yeah.
And we do that actually quite often nowadays.
I think that first one, you got pissed, chucked your controller, and stormed out.
Probably.
I think you did that.
Remember, I was also in very dark places like
Yes,
3
you
years
were.
back. Still not on top of everything, but I'm a lot better than where I've been in before.
Yeah.
So, With that being said, I think we've gone on long enough. Now we're just kind of shooting the breeze.
I mean, that's typical for us.
Yeah, we do this quite often. It's beautiful. This is why we work well together. This is why we also want to work with all of you, because we know a lot of the fun that we have. We want... Managing and organizing tournaments can be stressful.
Can.
Is. 100%. But we will do whatever we can with all of you, because we also know the fun that can be had from it. And,
Yeah.
we want you to share into that, honestly.
Yeah.
So, that being said, we'll cut it here. Looking forward to what this year brings. Looking forward to being able to bring up more things and be able to get this scene built up once again. Honestly, all the scenes. We want to be able to work with anyone and everyone. If you have something new you want to do, I had somebody message me last month about getting an ARMS scene kind of going.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm willing to work with whoever I can, but I'm not willing to do all of the work.
Speaking of which, we need to probably get in contact with them again about that.
Yeah, we will. I'm not going to put in all the work myself. If I see that happening, I'll still do it for a time, but I'll give plenty of notice too when I'm just going to be like, no, I'm done.
I mean, I think if some of you, there's those couple months where Tim didn't even come to the tournaments. You could see it on me. I was exhausted. I was stressed. I was running back and forth between running tournaments. Like, I was everywhere. Thankfully, some people like Tiberius, Plushy, Tux, etc. have started stepping up to help do stuff.
Yeah.
But it's,
So,
yeah.
there is the stress when it's just, like, when one or the other is missing. There's stress when it's literally just us two. Honestly, with some of the people that randomly step up and help out, is great, because that does take a lot of the stress off.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to see that keep going, and I want to see everyone take a hold of their own community and make it something so much greater. Because I believe I am a gamer in through and through. There's always some special charm, I feel, to competitive communities, but I also know the downward spiral that they quickly can go down. I don't want to see that happen to any community. I don't think really any community here is jeopardized so much in that sense that they can't recover or whatnot. I do feel like some of the communities, though, do need that extra push, that organizational front. I'm willing to offer any help on what I can for that. Bryce, I'm sure, is willing to do what he can with his stream as long as it works within the schedule. We're willing to help out, is what we're trying to say. Not always are we going to be able to help out on your terms. We'll talk that through depending on what it is. I know some of you have had other special events, and I've told them straight up, look, this is what it is, and they're like, oh, can't you do anything better? It's like, no, this is what it is worth my time. When you're asking me to take away literally a whole day for some special events and whatnot. I know some of you don't like how that is, but sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've got nothing else.
Yeah. No, not really either. Other than, yeah, shout outs to all the other TOs. Also, guys, remember, respect your other scenes. Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is something I will ask with this as part of the community-driven thoughts is, if you're going to help drive your community forward, respect those who are trying to drive theirs forward as well.
Yeah. We're literally all working in this together. When you're looking at Smash specifically, we get very little support from Nintendo. We got great support for the first year for obvious reasons. Now it's back to us again, and we are still able to move it forward. But I've also seen other things pull forward more. I give a lot of credit to the anime fighters because they're really great scenes solid together, and this is on a regional, national front.
Oh, yeah. Well, our anime scene, we're coming together right now for on the 27th. Yes, I'm putting this peg in here because I can. But it's a good example of this. On the 27th, we are doing, as best we can, a large tournament for Dragon Ball Fighters. Because we know there's a lot of people who love Dragon Ball and we look forward to this game. I'm giving up a full day for that, partially because I just love one of the games there. Too, I love the community. It's such a great community. Everything we're doing, we're trying to do our best together, and we want to see that with Smash as well.
And we've also seen that happen with, like, EVO this last year on the race between Marvel and Pokken.
Oh, that was.
They were mind you. Okay, what was the difference? Like 1,000, 2,000? It was more than that.
We were within. When I say we, I mean Pokken. Was within about 5,000 for most of the race until the last hour, in which Justin Wong dropped 5K, and that caused an explosion of donations to Marvel.
Which,
So,
mind you, Pokken pulled all of that. If you look at the figures, Pokken pulled all of that with half the amount of people that Marvel did.
shout out to Roxo.
So, I've seen what communities can do. I mean, Melee community back years ago with their Evo front as well. The communities can pull together amazing things, but only if we do all work it together and support one another.
Oh yeah.
So please do not try to do this thing of, oh, well, my game's better because of this. Because, honestly, at this point, if you're giving crap like that, then you have no place at our monthly or any other event. You can go back to your basement dwelling pit and stay there, to be frank. So,
Yeah.
that being said, I will own anybody in Tetris Attack.
That being said, try BlazBlue. You might actually like it.
That being said, we're done. Y'all take care. We'll catch you on the flip side again.
All right. Yep. Bye. Catch you all better later.